Bonjour! Let's talk about sketchbook, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this sketchbook. It was actually requested from someone, and let's go. So I bought this paper in my local art store. It was written to be professional watercolor paper, 275 grams per centimeter, and it's one of the cheapest I could find in my store. But it was really hard to separate the sheets from the block. As you can see, I had a hard time and some page got torn, so I wasn't too happy when I started making the sketchbook actually. So to start, you have to take the sheets apart, and here I have, I don't know how many I picked, but I have quite a bit. And we're gonna make signatures. Signatures are small booklets that go inside the book. And one sketchbook is multiple signatures. So first you have to fold your paper in two, being very careful that everything is aligned and well. So here I go, and you really fold it hard so it stays this way. And you keep on and you go. So here, hold on, next one. So actually I had this video ready, well, I had all the material ready a long time ago, but like a month ago, when I made this video about my first watercolor sketchbook. I'll put a link in the description. So I had all the material ready, but I had so much work, and then I went on holiday, and when I came back I had a lot of work again, so I couldn't find the time to finish the video, do the voiceover, and actually, since I filmed this, I filled almost half of this sketchbook, and so I used this paper quite a lot. It was the first time I used it, and I quite love it. Yes, it's very good paper, but I wouldn't say it's professional grade paper. I mean, it's perfect for sketching, going outside, doing studies in watercolor. It is what I do most. But I also like to do more complicated illustration and using drawing gum to keep white space, and do interesting stuff with it. And this paper does not like drawing gum at all. It was terrible on some of them. It destroyed one illustration in particular. I'll show you when I film the sketchbook. When it will be filled, I will film it for sure. But I'm learning to use it without drawing gum. So here I have my sixth signature. I noticed it was too big. I need the sketchbook to fit into my bag, so it can be that big. My bag isn't that big. So I decided to make two little sketchbook instead. So I cut the signature in half. I secured the page well, because it cannot move when you cut, or you'll have trouble. You'll get page torn. It won't be good. And it takes a lot of time to cut because, as I said, I want to be careful that everything is aligned and well. And also there is quite a lot of paper. A signature is 3 pages folded in half, so 6 pages to cut, and it is watercolor paper, so you have quite a lot to go through. Here, perfect. See how the page is torn down there? It just happened when I took the pages off the block. It was too sticky. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do better, sadly. So let's move on to the cover. Now I have my 4 signatures, and the cover is going to be this cardboard. I recycled from, I don't know where this one came from. It was just lying around in my studio, so it's often what I do for my covers. I just pick some random sturdy cardboard and it just does the job. Since I put pretty paper on top, doesn't have to be very pretty cardboard. But I like it to be quite sturdy because The sketchbook is going to be in my bag, so it's going to travel around, and I'm gonna need to draw on it, so I need to be able to it needs to hold on when I draw on it, and also when it will be with me for a long time in my bag. So that's why I use this. So the other part of the cover. This is only the second time I do my own sketchbook by hand, so the technique is still evolving, and I'm not sure I'm doing it very well, but I feel like this one is better than the previous one. I feel like it holds better and it is more rectangular. You'll see at the end anyway. Cutting takes so much time and it takes so much energy each time. So let's stick everything together. You see I have the front page, the spine and the back of the cover, and I'm gonna stick everything together with a simple sheet of paper, and I have glue. It's polyvinyl glue. It's something to stick paper and stuff like that. It's quite random. I think I bought it from an hardware shop, and I actually have to do my own mix. It's powder, and I just add water, and it's stick very well. It's actually perfect for paper. It's made for it, and it's wonderful. I like the way it's in powder, because this way I can adjust the humidity of the glue, so it's not too wet, and I really like that. Okay, so it's really satisfying to apply the glue actually. I really love it. Everything becomes so flat, and I love it. See, it's already able to fold very nicely, very squarish, and I try just to see if the sides are good. And I apply this fancy paper. I think I bought this paper a few years ago, and it was laying around and I didn't know what to do with it, because I'm not very crafty anymore. I used to be when I was in school, but now I just draw because I don't have to do some weird projects. But it was quite useful for this sketchbook, and it is also very soft to the touch, so it's perfect for a cover. I use the same glue to stick it, and I do all the side. I apply generously the glue with this brush. This brush is my go-to brush to do kind of everything. It's synthetic, and I really love to use it to apply glue and stuff like that, and it never it's always in good shape. I don't know how it does it, but even if I forget to wash it, I actually think I forgot to wash it after applying all this glue, and a few days later I decided to finally wash it, and it came back to its original glory. It was quite wonderful. I'm not being very nice with this brush, but it's it's an awesome brush. It always ends up being great. So now I have my cover, I have the fancy paper on it, and I'm making sure everything sticks well, everything is well together, it folds, which is perfect, it closes and it lays flat. So now I have to let it dry for quite a while. So I put paper under to absorb humidity and paper over to also absorb humidity. And I had books, big fat books like anatomy books, because it's very heavy, and art books about art history and art around the world, because I love these books, and they are very heavy. And I leave it for I think a full day overnight, so it dries well. And from this I start making my holes, because as you can see, I have to sew the pages now, which is quite a bit of work. So I forget the dimension I did, but it's like 2 centimeters from down, 2 centimeters up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little holes to sew the book, and I have to make the holes before sewing on every pages, because it's easier after to go through the pages, because the paper is quite heavy. And so let's make every hole. So my original video was, I think, 34 minutes long, with already a lot of parts sped up. I think I have like 4 hours of footage for this, maybe more. I should have looked at it. So making a sketchbook takes quite a long time, but not as much as you think. I think what takes the most time is just drying. So here I apply wax on the thread, because it really helps. It makes the thread easier to use and more sturdy, and I think it sticks a little to the pages afterward, and it makes everything more stable and strong. I picked a yellow thread because I really like this kind of gold yellow color, and I think my previous sketchbook had the same one, and I really like it, so I'm keeping it. Sorry if you can't really see at this point, because I had difficulty at first. It's really a difficult part for me. It's a thing I have the hardest time doing. I feel I never make the thread tight enough. So for this one I really tried. Here is the hardest, you see, putting two signatures next to each other, and really tightly bound. See how difficult a difficult time I had. I think I started again, because it was really complicated. I'm always having a hard time with it. Yes, I did it again. Because there is always a space between the signature when you look at the sketchbook at the end. I did better for this one. It looks good. But I think I still can do better than this. Really, I do. But it's a skill in progress. I learn a little more every time. You can see it happened on a few days, because I'm changing outfits between the shots. Okay, you can't see a thing. It's okay. I'm sure there is a lot of people on YouTube that explain way better than me, and because I'm not fully experienced with this, I'm not sure if I can explain this. I shouldn't, because I'm not a reference. See, at the beginning and at the end, I'm trying to make everything very tight. This is really the hard part, I feel. Okay, next, signature. And you go in, and you hold tight, and you go out of the page, and you hold tight, always tight. It have to be it has to be extra tight. And here I went directly to the end because it was way too long to watch. I feel like it's already been too long for you to watch. And I end by securing the thread inside out and out. It's actually very satisfying to watch. Look at it go out, go around. Oh, this wasn't easy either. Up, go out, come on! Here it's done. And make the final knots. Okay, so now it's done. The thing is, the paper, you'll see, needs to be trimmed a little. Because now everything is holding and it needs to fit the cover, so I need to cut the end of the book for all the pages to end in a regular way. It looks way prettier in the end. Lots of paper, and I have only this tiny cutter. Tiny knife, but see, it looks a lot better already. Oh yeah, and I'll use this thing here to smooth everything. So now I need to attach the cover to the pages, and I do it by doing inside in the inside of the cover I put a blank sheet. So I am cutting this. You'll see what I mean in a few seconds when I have cut this. Last time I didn't use white paper. I used paper with lettering on it because I used to write stuff with an old-timey machine, but this time I'll only add white paper, but it's fine. It looks, maybe it looks cleaner, you'll see. Okay. So now I need to fold a little part that will be stuck to the pages, and some part will be stuck to the cover. Here I mark it strongly so it's easier to fold. Here one and the other. I mark it strongly. And it's done. Hop. Okay, so here it is. The cover has dried, it's perfect. I'm just trying to see it's gonna be like this. So let's apply glue once again here on all the cover. It will make everything cleaner. Here this way, and with the little part here. See, here is where the pages will be stuck, and like this, the pages. It's quite easy actually, and it works very well. I mean, it holds on very well. Seriously, it does, and it's still doing fine to this day. On this side, I'm quite generous with the glue, but it's okay. It's transparent and it doesn't leave any trace when it dries, so it's perfect. Second part here. Okay, let's see. Just align this and just put it back together. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, so now I put it under my books and not let it dry for overnight, and this is how it looks in the end, and I really like the results. It's nice. The format is pretty good. The yellow thread looks amazing, and I'm quite happy of the results. Even if it's not perfect, it's better than the previous one, and I'm sure the next one will be even better. See how good it looks. Thank you for watching. It was a long one, and salut!